Right, yeah, so lucky to get this one. That was what I was hooked on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was just probably sticking out the ground, and I sort of kept going one way and then the other, and eventually just pinged off. But you can imagine what it'd be like with one of these tree roots. There we go. Just over £20. And we set up here late yesterday afternoon. Water level's very low after visiting a few of the lakes, but we thought sod it was getting on a bit. Let's just camp here for a night or so and see what happens. Visited it a few times this lake, but never got around to fishing it. So there we go, broke my duck. Brought on a double 20mm spicy squid, gooed up mussel hook bait, just on a light scattering of baits this one. Just wanted to see if there's any fish out there, and there was a few fish rolling about last night. Surprised we didn't have anything before daybreak. And we've just sat there having a little word competition, me and Claire, and then this one ripped off.
Oh, sorry, slippery in the mud.
Your feet.
Oh babe, I'm sinking.
Lovely. Thank you. Mwah. Good afternoon, it's Thursday the 18th of October, about 4:30 in the afternoon. Been here now about 24 hours or so, and just Claire's just built a little fire, just boiling up a few more particle, ready for the next week. Not quite sure what we're going to do here yet. Fish here tonight, maybe do a third night, just see how tonight goes. But we left the last lake at day before yesterday, so Thursday, Wednesday, yesterday, left there Tuesday morning, and travelled up towards, passed over the River Lot, and up into Cantel, and looked at a couple of lakes in the region in Cantel, just north of Everon, and then made our way up to Clare, and eventually come across this lake here. Was quite a famous lake back in the 90s. Produced some good fish. You never know what it's like now. Very little, on the internet about it. But it's a lake I visited a few times on the way back home and all the way back up north over the years. Thought I'd finally give it a go. Especially now as they've opened up a lot more night fishing, so they've opened up sort of like about 5 really good areas for night fishing now, so I thought, well, now's the time to give it a go, and especially this area where we are now, right by the dam, which is sort of, especially with the shallower lakes, it's where you really need to be, I feel, in the autumn. And a bit shocked when we come. As you can see, the water level is right down. I suppose that's a good 15 feet from maximum level. It's not the most deepest of the lakes. We've got 42 feet just out there in front of us now, which is just a channel. It goes off to about 10 feet, about halfway out, and then drops straight down within about 15 yards, straight down into 40 feet of water. So we're fishing over a big ledge with lots of tree roots. Needless to say, I got a bit of trouble this morning with that carp take. Got around a couple of small roots, but I did manage to free it, obviously. But I've got a feeling that might be the path of the course, going out in the boat and retrieving the lines every time we want to do a rebait or anything like that. Let's see what tonight brings. Had a few carp definitely jumping over the spots last night, about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So maybe they've got a bit of confidence on the bait. Maybe if they come back down tonight, maybe they'll get their heads down on it with a little bit more confidence. Maybe we'll get a few tonight as well, which would be great. It's nice to come up and fish this lake for a little bit more R&R. We're fishing distances of about 100 yards instead of beyond 350 yards. So needless to say, I can get all the rods out in the same time as it took me to get one out on the lake in the Pyrenees. So yeah, a lot easier. So I think I'll leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of this lovely autumn afternoon here in Clare. Sit here by the fire watching my maize boil. Friday the 19th of October, 3:30 in the afternoon, and just a bit of a recap on the last 24 hours. Happened since that carp, that 20 pounder I caught. What was that? Can't even remember. Sometime yesterday afternoon, wasn't it? Yeah, about 24 hours. Lost one in the night. Just got snagged up on the tree roots. So we've decided to move. So off the lake, we had a lot of fish moving last night in front of us and down this way, out in this main bowl. It's a lot deeper than I thought. So a move was on the cards. Where we were fishing sort of inside a bit of a bay, and the water just seemed to only be about 10 foot to about sort of halfway out, and then it just dropped straight down into 40 feet of water, and you just couldn't get the rod tips high enough up to miss the tree roots. I'll show you what they're like over here if I zoom in. Pick that up, maybe you will do on your screens at home. Every time you wound in, there's no point trying to wind in because you just snag on a root. So you had to go out in the boat and, you know, pick off your main line off the roots as you went out until you eventually got to your lead. So it was just getting a bit tiresome and boring, you know, even though we're only fishing less than 100 yards. It was just ridiculous. So like I say, fish were moving around here last night, so we thought, sod it, we'll move on here and settle down here over the weekend for the next 3 nights at least and see how it goes. No sooner we moved, we saw fish moving along here, and they were obviously moving back up into the bay where we were fishing before, but there was fish out in front of us here as well. So you can still fish the far left marker, which I've taken both the takes on. Just about, it's a bit of a stretch past those rocks there. It's only missing the rocks by about 10 yards or so, but you know, it's a pre-baited spot, so if we can fish it just for the next night or so, and you know, that'd be it. And the main reason I did was no sooner I got over here, a fish stuck his head out right on my marker, and went out there with the 2 rods, and as I got to the mark, yeah, bubbling all over the place. So I've just literally got them out there in the last sort of half an hour. I'm surprised one hasn't gone already, but maybe it disturbed them. So we come along here, and as you can see, it looks steeper by the nature. It's a bit of a pinch point here, but you're straight into 16-20 foot of water within about 20 yards of the bank, and then out there into 38 feet of water in the riverbed. A little bit more friendly, the riverbed, just a little bit wider and not quite so much of a serious ledge when you get to it, so you should be able to play fish from the bank. That'd be nice. Yeah, so you can see the oil slick from the old chili hemp that I put in my old particle mix coming up now. Just put 2 rods on that marker over there, which is only sort of 70 yards away, and then we're going to put one out there a bit further out into sort of no man's land a bit. Still try and find the riverbed just shallow up. There I've got 36 foot in the riverbed. There I got 38 on that marker there, and then on that marker there I've got 39, 40. So it shallows out, but it's a little bit more of a general grazing area, I suppose I'd put it, being a bit of an old farmer's boy, you know. So sort of a place where the fish are probably happy to be most of the time. So I'm going to put another pair of rods out there towards that lone fisherman out there, somewhere in the middle. Try and find the riverbed there, and put a nice spread of bait out there, 2 different baits out there, and see how it goes. we having tonight then, Clare?
Spag bowl.
Spag bowl. Lovely. On an open fire.
Yeah, and it's hot.
Get it. Look at that. Lovely evening. Friday the 19th. About 6 o'clock in the evening. Sometime Saturday morning, and been listening to fish jump all night. Some small ones, some few bigger ones. There's a tiny little thing. Decided to pick up a small bait. Thought I'd put on a single 20mm bottom bait. See what was picking up the bait, about, I don't know, probably about 8-9 pound, maybe 7, 8, 9 pound. See me okay, babe?
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, just a little babby common, little wildy fish. There we go, they're not big. A little tiny mirror this time. 7 pound, great little fish. There we go, so we just had a cup of tea from the common.
Quarter to 1.
That common was about 1:45.
Yeah.
And this is what, about 2 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Good afternoon. It's Saturday the 20th of October, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the move, as you've seen probably previously, is paid off. We ended up with a 3 carp altogether last night. Lost another one this morning to a snag. I felt a bit of a better fish. Yeah, no monster, but it certainly felt a damn sight bigger than those singles, low doubles we were catching. So, bit of a shame, should have probably gone out in the boat. It was one down the margins a bit and got caught in a tree root. And I had every opportunity to go out there and I didn't take it. I don't think again. Seems to be a lot of that going on this time. But there we go, so we'll give it another couple of nights here. It's been a bit of a quiet day today, just that one lost fish about 1 o'clock again today. Seemed to get a random 1 or 2 takes in the afternoon. Last night it was a lot of fish here, a hell of a lot of fish crashing about, but you know, I did notice that the fish that were jumping weren't massive fish. It weren't like a pig falling in the water or anything like that. So it was about 6 o'clock in the evening. Like that. Just had 2 runs together. One was a drop run because for some reason the hook had managed to hook into the hair, and then just had another take straight away on a double 20mm squid. Gouda. Alright, good morning. Just a quick one because my back was going to go flat. We're all loaded. We've done 4 nights here now. It's Sunday the 20th or 21st, and it was a bit of a busy yesterday. I don't know what we've had from here, probably getting on for about 10 takes here. Dropped a few because I'm sort of fishing bigger baits. They're only little fish, but I've learnt all I need to know about this place. Certainly one for the future, but my research last night sort of confirmed that you know, there's a lot of small fish in here. So been fun. It's been one on the bucket list for a little while. So yeah, glad we've done it. Now time to move on for the last week of our adventure. So over and out. Report back soon. So we changed venues again now, camped tonight here, and then got set up yesterday, got the rods out yesterday afternoon, and we're in already with this lovely little upper double common. I don't know, that did it about £17 or so, if I'm lucky. Yeah, caught on the edge of a big baited area on double 24mm muscle hook bait, but we got it. There's definitely something with it. There really is. Just stick that out. So yeah, brilliant. A lovely start. Absolutely fantastic. After all the little tiny things we've been catching at the other lake, get this big lake. Is awesome. So yeah, we'll pop this one back now. Clear water for washing game. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. This one's got about quarter to 11, so about only half an hour or so after that double. This one goes £22 exactly. Scrap this one. Next rod along. Still just on the scatter and the boilies. This one was on just a standard hardened muscle hook bait with a 15mm cc or yellow pop-up, so nice little snowman rig. So yeah, that's good. 2 fish in less than 24 hours. Caught a scatter and a bait. So it just goes to show there's a few out there. There's an angler down to my right left, about 300 yards away, and I saw him out this morning as well. We've got the other decent fish. So yeah, a few fish in the area. So it's going to be good for a bit of fun. So yeah, beautiful.
Well done, babe.
Number 2 of the morning, going back. Beautiful. Thank you.
Lovely.
Right, there you go, 1 o'clock Wednesday morning. We just dropped off to sleep and this one roared off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. A real pretty, real proper scaly one. Absolutely beautiful. First mirror from this venue, 3rd fish on a 24mm muscle bottom bait with a yellow pop-up. Seems to be down for this one again. So a bit of a bonus now with a full moon nearly, not quite yet I don't think. Certainly wasn't expecting one like this at this time of night. A little bit cold at the minute, probably about 6 degrees at the moment, so my hands are freezing. But yeah, great result again, real lovely fish, real beautiful scaly fish, lovely. Bring that change to the other side, I haven't seen it yet. Lovely, fantastic. Good morning. It's 10:15 Wednesday morning. Beautiful lake. 80-watt solar panel there, which is about 3.6 amps per hour. And this bad boy, we bought this year, that pushes out about 7 amps per hour. Cost the same price as that. Bought that one 10 years ago, bought them this year, so that's the quality of them. They're chromatic, I think they are. It means they can charge not just in sunlight, but just general daylight. Certainly sunlight helps. The bank of batteries there. One on the boat, one in the bivvy. And as you can see, we are really exposed. So when we turned up, you know, we're on quite a slope. These bed chairs, they've never got enough adjustment in the legs. Never, ever, ever. but it really benefited us to bring a spade with us and just dig a level platform. You can see we've moved a fair bit of soil. We've sort of like, not particularly tight, but it's certainly not going to blow away. A little bit of a luxury, but you know, we've got the old cook tent up, but it does make a massive difference, and not a huge amount more stuff to bring. He's going to bring 2 loads over in a boat anyway. Cookouts, amazing, really nice and easy. So all the food under there, little bags, double gas burner. A lovely big bivvy for the week. It is proper comfort. It's a beast to pick up. It's so heavy. It takes 2 really to pick it up comfortably. There we go. This is another saving grace. The third boil of water anyway, which really doesn't make any difference, and this lake water is beautifully clean. But you boil it and you still end up with a scum line. You're boiling spuds. You know, you need a little bit of water with the cooking. Sometimes it's just, you know, nice to have a glass of orange juice, orange squash. Spicy squid goo, a little bit of cream as well actually. Yeah, 18.5 pounds. Definitely one for the future that. I can see that in a few years been well over 30 pounds. Fantastic, brilliant. Wednesday evening, about 9 o'clock, Wednesday 24th, full moon. A nice big fire. Wind's eased off a little bit. And just a gentle, rhythmic lapping of waves to be a little bit poetic. And the wind's dropped right off. Had another occurrence this afternoon. Sometime, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock. The drop back. It was so windy, and even though the Delcombs turned right down to -2, and they were still bleeping. And had something a bit erratic, was out in the bivvy out of the way. It was a bit of a dust storm out here. It wasn't very nice to be out in, to be quite honest. And had a drop back. Time I got out there, saw the rod knock, and it just went slack. and it cut me off above the 60 feet of £80 mono. So that was the end of that. That was a bit of a shame. So out there fishing over quite a drop off. I've been contemplating fishing buoyant bottles at the main line to lift the line off. Don't think it have made any difference. It was there was obviously something there. So there we go. That's a bit of a shame. Someone's got away with it. So all the baits are back out again. Had a nice steak meal cooked by the wonderful Clare. Got the baits back out a bit late, and just enjoying quite a warm, mild evening for a change. So we'll see what tonight brings. Right, good morning. It's Thursday the 25th, about 10 in the morning. Sun's just broken over the tree line behind, so we're bathed in a bit of heat at last after another chilly night. Not a massive amount to say. Had an absolute screaming run last night. Same thing as last night. Just got in the pit at about, I don't know, 1:45, and at about 1:05, just barely closed my eyes and I had a screaming take. About a powerful fish. Jumped in the boat and it proceeded to tow me straight away, and no sooner than I'd got out sort of towards the marker, I'd assumed it was gone around past the marker. It actually changed total direction and headed up right back up that way in super quick speed. It felt a few plinks and it felt a little bit odd, and I wasn't sure if it was catching off of snags or what. But catfish did spring to mind, sort of in the back of my mind as I was going out there. It just felt so powerful and it was so fast. And yeah, so I changed direction, back across in front in the other markers, and felt heavy fish. And then by the time I got on top of it, it was snagged under something, and I tried to pull it off but couldn't, end up having to pull for a break. So I can only assume it was a catfish. Ironically, it was the mark that I put in a good 2 or 3 gallon of pellet and particle, and I thought I'd soak it with a load of krill and salmon liquid as well. So it seemed to be liking the fishy stuff, so I thought I'd make the particles and pellet really fishy as well. I think all it done was attracting that catfish. So yeah, that was it. Woke up, got woken up by a cup of tea by my wonderful girlfriend Clare this morning at about 9:30. So after that little extravaganza, when I got back to sleep, it was probably about getting on for 3 o'clock, and I had a good 6 hours sleep with uninterrupted with nothing. So it's a nice day today. It's going to be about 19-20 degrees. And you know, it's looking good for another one. You have got to go wind in now and take the dog to the vets to get him wormed out at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So that's pretty good. Yeah, very quiet night last night though. The night before there was a few fish jumping. There had at least sort of 3 or 4 carp crack last night. It was up obviously very late and never heard a thing. It showed that because of no runs. So the fish definitely weren't in the area. It was a calm night last night, to sort of like conclude really, and that might have been the reason. Seems like get a bit of wind on here, and you're going to get a few bites. And I think you could say that about most public lakes in France. Wind is good. Can be a nightmare, but you get your runs. So yeah, as much as nice as this is, would prefer a wind. So we've got a couple more hours before we've got to wind in for an hour and just nip down the road and get the dog wormed, and then we'll be back out again. So if you don't catch anything before, we'll see you later on this evening. Right, what are we today?
Friday the 26th
Friday.
at 11:30.
There we go, you heard it there. So yeah, just eating up the pot noodle, and this one I could rip off because I've tightened the clutches right off, but the rod wrenched right over on a yellow snowman again. So it seems to be the one certainly picking out the smaller fish anyway, certainly getting his action. So yeah, a little bit lively again as it's had the chance of recovering over the side of the boat and the net all the way in, which is no bad thing. So I don't know how big this is, probably about 16, 17 pound, but a pretty fish. Love that, lovely. That doesn't look like I've seen a hook or the bank in a long time. Beautiful, look at that mouth. That's what we come here for. It might not be a monster, but it's nobody else has caught it for a long time, and that's means a lot. It's been awkward. Just the other side. Look at that, beautiful. So just extended our stay, and was meant to be really packing up today, so we could have a nice easy travel home tomorrow, but now we stay in Friday night, and Saturday night, and then packing up Sunday, going home Monday. So we've got a couple more nights to try and winkle out a few more, possibly a bit bigger than this. Lovely, cracking day, then to get cold. Look at that water, it's so clear. Thank you. Mwah. Great, doesn't go away like that, innit? Oh, still seeing. Friday, don't know what time, mid-afternoon. Sun's finally sort of come out, wind's changed direction. We've now got a southwesterly. And a nice gentle one at that. The lovely little scaly mirror we had earlier on, just lifted up about 3 inches, thought it was going to go and then just nothing. So, I don't know what happened there. Haven't bothered putting the other rod back out since I caught the carp. Just been relaxing this morning, and thought I'd have an early lunch for a change. So we have got chicken, chips, sweet corn, covered with loads of mayo. Can't be bad. Waiting for a big one to come along. So, 8:30 on a Friday evening. Is it Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Friday the 26th.
Weather's turned really dark. It's been cloudy and overcast for most of the afternoon. Wind's turned around to a southwesterly. Baits have been now soaking, most of them, apart from a couple have had fish on for 24 hours. And yeah, so it's really confident of getting a few. We're just turning in for the evening. It's getting a bit cold. We were sat by the fire, but oh.
Yeah, sorry if this video is shaky because
Yeah.
I am shivering.
Yeah, getting a bit cold. No sooner than the step put a foot in the bivvy, off it goes. And landed this one from the bank as well. It doesn't seem to be too snaggy out where I am, and it didn't feel big. If it was taking line straight away, then I wouldn't hesitate going out in the boat. But you know, I was bringing it straight back in. It only started to fight in the last sort of 20-30 metres from the bank, where it did fight reasonably well. So there we go, another common. So yeah, 19.5 I think I said.
Yep.
So yeah, double mussel, just a standard mussel hook bait, had been dusted in a bit of green mussel powder, any difference. So yeah, brilliant. It's nice to get one on the standard baits rather than the snowman, so that's good. So pop it back. So cold as one, that was me. Beautiful, look at that. 19 pounder, and that could stick a 40mm bait in that, no problem. Beautiful, look at that. Water is so clear. a couple of ounces. Finally, a decent thing from this venue. It's been a long time since we've had such a lovely thing on this trip. You played to finish the trip and didn't get another one. We've got about another sort of 36 hours to go. The weather looks amazing. We're at lower pressure, cloudy, little bit of rain coming in, getting colder. I think we're going to get a couple more. I really feel confident. This is a proper breed. This is a proper little unit. Nice. Chuffed bits of that. Come on in, bad boy. This thing just kept going and going and going. Even when I got it on the top, it just kept powering on the surface. A real test in the wind for my boat skills. Lovely. Leave it to me. Right. Say goodbye. Popping back. Single-handed. Go. Get your nose out. Go on his own accord. There he goes. Brilliant. Double take in the pouring rain. I'll give this one about probably 19 and that one about 16. I don't think it's a £20. Yeah. Well done, Clare, for getting that in. Come down the pouring rain. It's all kicking off. Silly kids.
Bloody things.
Oh dear.
Lovely pair.
What a lovely pair. Let's get them back. Oh. This one's a few. Really linear. Hard going. I'm just gonna let him go. Get back inside. Now I've got a wet foot. Sometime Saturday afternoon. And I've just come back in the big boat to collect some waterproofs. And just as I touched ground, Sarah leapt out the bivvy.
Who?
Start that again. Delete that. Sorry.
Oh, then.
Here we go. So, just went across the land to pick up some waterproofs. It's been a bit damp here today, and as I touched land, Clare leapt out the bivvy to it an absolute one-toner. One of my markers, so I had to go on the boat to go and unwrap it. So I drifted back into shore. Wholeheartedly, but another bruiser. Finally getting half decent fish now. What a good day. With one night to go, and the weather changing for the better with a very low barometric pressure and a cooling down in the weather, fish are having it, and they're certainly taking a favour to these 24mm mussel hook baits with a pineapple and then butyric acid yellow pop-up. These are a little bit special, these mussel ones, something a little bit different, and these actually seem to be doing better than the ones soaked in goo. And these are just a standard hardened mussel hook bait, and they've been dusted in greenlit mussel powder and just left to stick on a little bit. They just draw out a little bit of the moisture out of the boilie, and then just a tiny little bit of cc more greenlit mussel liquid just shaken around the pot, and then another good dusting of greenlit mussel powder again. So that's left a really sticky residue on there, and that won't just wash off as it goes through the 60 foot to the lake bed, and then that will sort of break down after a few hours, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours, and leave a lovely beautiful fresh scent of greenlit mussel on the bottom of the lake bed. And I just think it's just another little edge, just makes a difference. Although the fish are really confident on coming in on baits that have been out there for 24 hours, I still think it just leaves a residue around the hook bait, and it just helps pull the fish in, and it's, oh look at that, you know, and bang, they have it without thinking about it. So just using these on the top as well. Struggle to find a decent 15mm yellow pop-up, or 16mm yellow pop-up, sorry, and these are pretty cool. I do use the cc more ones as well, but they're only 15. They're a little bit on the small side to sort of really balance these snowmen properly with these big size 1 and 2 hooks. So yeah, a little bit of a problem. Now the last 24 hours we're really sort of winging it the best we can. The other day when we went to take the dog in the vet to have its worming tablet, I left the boat on the side there as I do, and the wind got up, and for some reason the outboard engine got pushed off the back of the transom where I hadn't got it on possibly quite tight enough, and when I come back it was laying in the water and the sand, and we had to take all apart the head to get all the water out because it wouldn't work, and that seemed to do the job, but it seems like the sand and water travelled down the shaft into the main electric motor, and it's finally just decided to pack up. So now just for the final, well, less than 24 hours, well, about 24 hours, we'll probably be packed up and gone about this time tomorrow. I'm going to try and wing it and get my baits out with this, got my old British Seagull. Trouble is with this, it's rev and go. As soon as she fires, she's going. There's no gearing, so it's all going to be a little bit seat of the pants. So it'll be one pass the bait up with the around the marker, and then come back round and another pass to slowly drop the bait, the hook bait down. Just can't dump it straight down, just drop it with an open bail arm, because even these stiff coated hook links I'm using will just tangle up back around the lead somehow. Even if it'd probably just be the hair, you know. So this is my rig that I'm using, pretty standard, gone through it before, size 2 101s these are, liner, blow back rig there, look, gone through before, gone a little bit longer, probably about 11 inches there, strip back to there. This is a Ridge Monkey stiff coated braid, brilliant stuff, really stiff that section. And then I like to counterbalance with a little weight, which is lead wire, and then wrapped over the top with a bit of putty. That just helps keep the weight down on the eye and hook them in the bottom lip, and they're hooking really well. Few in the side of the lip, but you know, generally speaking, pretty well hooked. Thin ounce grippers, drop off system as usual, 6 foot length core of the line down to 80 pound mono, and then down to 30 pound line. So yeah, wind's getting up again a little bit at the minute, looks a little bit erratic grey over in the distance. It's going to be fun getting these locked you know, we've got to give it a go. That's what we stayed here the extra time for. We knew the weather was going to change, and with it a drop in pressure, and you just know, when you know, you know. And you know, sometimes my predictions come right, and other times they don't. And I've got it wrong once or twice on this trip already, but finally I think I got it right on the 11th hour. So we're going to do our best now to get the gear out, get some bait out there. It won't be mega accurate, but we'll have baits in the water. One last chance for a proper lump. So I'm going to crack on now and report back a little bit later on once I've got all the rods back out. Over and out. Well, after all the trials and tribulations of getting everything out in an engine with no gearbox, just goes. This was the last rod out. Literally got in, dried myself off, and it's ripped off already. There it is. Oh, we got our first cat. We got a catfish. Little babby kitten, not even £10, probably about, well, maybe about £9, £8, £9. There you go. Gonna pick it up, put it back?
No, I'm not.
Yeah then.
It's ugly.
Cool man. There you go.
Bye bye.
Yeah, with the noise. There we go. Sunday 28th.
No, Sunday the
27th.
30th. No.
But Sunday, anyway.
Yeah.
About 2 in the morning. That's about 0 degrees. It's freezing. I think you should kids to see the camera shake. There, she holds this. Brave enough to come out in the morning to film this. An 18 penny. Beautiful. Coming out. It is cold and I was warm. Not now. So I'm going to put this one back, and we've got 5 more rods out. Or we call it a day. 1 down, 5 to go. Good morning. 4:45 Sunday morning, and another just under £23. They keep coming. Got 3 rods left, and then that's all she wrote. I'm not putting them out, too cold. Brilliant. Lovely fish. Got the same the other side. Fantastic.
Little scales on the top, isn't it?
Yeah, little.
There you go, buddy.
Time it is 5:30. 22 rods left. 7-4. Judy, that's the first thing. Got 2 rods left. Little biggie. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Probably be good rods back out. So this, my little 20 engine, not no chance. faulty. It really is. Put in a region of about 6-7 kilos of boilers last night. Spread along 6 rods. And I had a decent engine where I could get them out there quickly. I'd probably put a couple more rods out. That's my lot. What a way to finish. I think Claire's had enough. This is it. We're off. Not enough room for Claire and the dog. She's walking.